Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rene de Silva. Have a go, you mug. Have a go, you mug. Rene de Silva.
A few weeks ago, we were asked a question at a Toastmasters meeting, nonetheless. That question was, as many of you might remember, what's your pet hate in life? And we all got out there and we all gave out one of the 2,547 we all have, narrowed it down, gave us overnight. But that question got me thinking a bit more about the other things that sort of get my nerves, grind my gears a little bit. There's one particular one that especially stands out and goes a little bit like something like this. So here's me, and I might be engaged in conversation with someone. We're talking, conversation's flowing, and then they say to me, oh Rene, there's something that I'd really like to do. I really want to do it. I've thought about it for a long time, but I just don't think I'd be any good at it. Like, I wouldn't be any good at it, and yeah, I just can't, I'm scared to try it, and yeah, I wouldn't do that. Which leads me to think over here, okay then, so you really want to do something, but you really don't want to, and so why are you wasting your and my time telling me about it? Now that might be a little bit harsh, you might think, but when you think about it, what's stopping you actually just having a go? I mean, what have you got to lose? You've really got nothing to lose and everything to gain by putting yourself out there. Think about it for a little while. Everything that you have in your life now is simply because you decided to actually do something. Have a go. The career that you have right now, whether you like it or not, it is because you got out there. Imagine if you had thought back all those years, the job interview that set you on the spot and said, you know what, I don't think I'm really going to go to that job interview. I think I might just sort of stay in bed and have a day in bed and say a bit of a sleep in. Where would you be? Also, what about the relationships, the family in your life? What if you had decided, going back all that time ago, you know what, I'm not really going to engage in any conversation with this person that I just met that's really interesting. Now I think I'm just going to sort of keep to myself. Where would you be then? So have a go, but there's a way to do it, a way to go about it. So I'm not just saying go out there and quit your job and disown your family and anything like that. No, that would just be silly. You've got to have a plan. So you've got to have a plan, and you've got to have a time frame for the plan. You've got to get your significant others involved in it. Make them feel part of it, not surplus to the school, but actually a part of it. They'd love to help, I'm sure. So you've got a goal. And now you come to your research and just commit yourself to it. And give yourself that time. So that could be 12 months, say. And when you give yourself 12 months, just say, make sure it is actually 12 months. Not 3 months, not 6 months, not 10 months, but actual 12 months. And when you hit that 12-month period, and you come up to the final day, and for whatever reason, you feel it's not quite what you expect it to be, then give yourself some permission to move on. And that's fine. When you think about it, once you started, keep at it then. Stay the course, do not give up, do not take shortcuts, and be prepared for the inevitable barrage of criticism that will come to you from outside sources. But remember a quote that I like to turn to at times like this. You may have heard of this. It's from former US President Teddy Roosevelt during the Man in the Arena speech, or the Citizen Republic speech, and it goes like this. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done it better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up short time and time again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasm, great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. To give you some examples from real life, common one is the oft-quoted one of Colonel Sanders of KFC fame, and how it took him hundreds of goes before he actually got his chicken recipe and his restaurant up and running, when he was a man well into his 60s when that happened. Or in a more serious case, perhaps, think about this. If the course was not stayed, think about, say, former president again, Abraham Lincoln. What if he got to a certain stage in the American Civil War and said, you know what, this whole free the slaves thing's really it's just too hard. I think we just stop there. I mean, what would history be like if that had happened? Or during the darkest days of the Second World War, when Winston Churchill and others of his ilk said, the situation is hopeless, we're going to surrender, and if we perhaps go in weakly, perhaps the fascists will go easy on us. What would our society be today if that decision was taken? So, what I'd like to say to you is, what do you have to lose by getting out there and having a go and staying the course? In my opinion, you've got everything to gain, and you've only really failed if you do give up. I'd like to finish by leaving you on with another quote, and this one's by another wise man you might have heard by the name of Mark Twain, and he said once, 20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than the ones you did do. So throw up the bow lines, set sail from safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover. Stoß Nassur.